What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Matty Ice here, back with another bass fishing video. And in today's video, if you're a co-angler, you're gonna wanna stay tuned because I've got 10 tips for just the co-anglers of the world, just like me, to make you a better fisherman in 2025. So stick around, it's gonna be a good one. All right, guys, well, if you like this kind of content, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button for me. Leave me some comments down below. We're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting really close. So do me a solid and hit that subscribe button for me. Once we do hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing a huge hot seat custom baits giveaway for you guys. So get subscribed to the channel, get entered into the giveaway. And we're gonna give away a huge hot seat custom baits package for you guys. So I know you guys will be excited about that. And don't forget to check out today's video sponsor, which is hotseatcustombaits.com. If you use my code Matty at checkout, you'll save 10% off of your entire order. Get you some hot sticks, get you some lizards, get you some hot heads. Those baits have been really smashing them for us so far this year. So get you any custom color that you want and use my code Matty to save that 10%. And if you're in the Tampa Bay area and you're looking for a great bass club to join, check the link down in the video description, northtampabassclub.com. We're always looking for new teams to join. So hit that link, send us a message. You can DM me on Instagram or send me a comment down below. Let us know that you're interested in joining the club. We just started our season, so more than welcome to come and join us. We look forward to seeing you guys out there on the lake. All right, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. I've got 10 tips for you guys for the co-anglers out there. I myself have been a co-angler for pretty much, the entirety of me fishing in bass tournaments. And so there's 10 tips that I can give you guys on how to be better anglers. Some of them are gonna be technical, some of them are gonna be kind of common sense, if you will. But all in all, 10 tips to help you become a better angler. So the first tip, very important. It's one of those ones that's kind of common sense, and that is to always not just be on time, but be early. And the reason you want to be early is just because if you want to be able to set up your tackle and everything else beforehand, get there early. Make sure that boater is not going to be waiting for you to get your stuff ready. So make sure that you're not only just on time, but you want to be early. So that's my first tip: be early. Don't make your boater wait on you. All right, so tip number 2 is gonna be to respect your boat owner's property. Boats are expensive. You don't wanna be, damaging the person's boat. You don't make sure that your feet are clean when you wipe, when you step on the boat, make sure you wipe your shoes off. You don't wanna drag mud in the guy's boat. You also wanna respect his equipment. Don't wanna be stepping on his rods and reels when they're laying out on the deck. So just be cognizant of his stuff. Try not to hit the side of the boat with tungsten weights. That's kind of a pet peeve. That's one of Dale's #1 rules, is don't hit the gel coat. So just be respectful and don't damage the boater's property. So that would be tip number 2. All right, so going into tip number 3, this kind of follows along with tip number 2, is that boating is expensive. So make sure that you are giving your boater gas money. We do have in the North Tampa Bass Club bylaws that you should be giving your boater at least $30 per boat trip. It used to be 20, now it's 30. Inflation is real, but just make sure that you're offering your boater money. Your boater can offer to decline your gas money, so just be aware of that. But you want to be on the respectful side. Make sure that you are giving your boater money. And again, in our North Tampa Bass Club rules, it's actually in the bylaws. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you're giving your boater gas money. All right, so tip number 4, make sure that you're bringing all of your own food, drinks, and snacks. You don't want to rely on the boater to not only be taking you out, putting gas in the boat, but feeding you and keeping you hydrated. Make sure that you have all of your own drinks, whether it's Gatorade, water, soda, whatever you want. Make sure that you're bringing all of your own drinks and your own food. You don't want to make the boater have to supply all that. So it's also a lot more convenient because you bring what you want. And also if you want to bring a little bit extra for your boater and offer your boater, sometimes that could be helpful as well. So that number 4, bring your own food and drinks. Oh yeah, and also don't forget to bring ice as well. So not only food and drinks, but also bring bring ice or offer to buy ice at the gas station. Okay, so tip number 5, I am guilty of this, and I know a lot of you out there probably are as well, but try not to bring too much gear. I fall into this all the time. I used to have a big, huge duffel bag that was just filled with, I believe it could fit 12 3700 size Plano boxes. That's too much. It got to be too heavy and too big. Not everybody's boat's the same. Everybody's boat is different sizes. There just wasn't enough room, so I had to downsize. But the same with the rods and the reels. This is, like I said, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I bring way too many rods. I do it because I have the rods and I have the space. But there are times that I need to downsize, especially if I'm going to be fishing on somebody's boat that maybe has a smaller boat, and you can't carry that much gear. Maybe you can only bring 4 or 5 rods, and that's okay. You don't have to bring your whole entire tackle store with you. There are some times where I do maybe I'm not sure what I'm going to throw, so I can bring a couple of extra things, but for the most part, you want to try to limit the amount of stuff that you bring if you can. Try your hardest. It does make decision making a little bit easier if you don't have all the gear that you thought you were going to bring. But yeah, just keep in mind that space may be limited. So try not to bring as much stuff as you can. That's number 5. All right, so tip number 6. This is one of the technical ones. Learn how to be a good net man. It takes practice, obviously, but if you learn how to be a good net man and you make sure that your boater, all of his fish get in the net and in the boat, he's gonna be very, very happy. So you might want to maybe talk to him and ask him how he likes to net the fish. Some guys, like you to put the net in the water and then they bring the fish to the net, or he might say, well, I like you to see the fish before you net the fish because you don't wanna knock the hook out of the fish's mouth trying to stab blindly. So that's rule number 6, is learn how to become a good net man. Tip number 7, don't assume that it's your boater's job to put you on fish, okay? Don't assume that, you're just gonna go out there and smash them and that your boater's gonna put you on fish like he's a professional fishing guide. Especially when you're fishing tournaments, that doesn't always happen. So you can't get upset if you don't catch fish. This is a skill game. It's not easy to find fish. It's not easy to catch fish. So don't be mad. I mean, you can be mad that you're not catching fish, but you can't blame your boater for not putting you on fish. He's trying to find fish and catch fish just like you are on the back. So just don't assume that he's a professional guide. His job is to put you on fish, because that's not the case. You can only, as a co-angler, you can only fish what's in front of you. You can't worry about where the boater wants to fish. You just have to fish what's there and make the best out of it and fish what you can see in front of you. So that's tip number 7, is to fish in front of you and don't assume that the boater's gonna put you on fish. Okay, so tip number 8, don't just throw the exact same thing that your boater's throwing. Throw something different. Even if you're not fishing as a team, if you're, like, say for example, you're fishing in a BFL and you get your boater in the front, you're in the back, and you're not really fishing against each other, but you're also not fishing as a team. This is a way to fish as a team, to figure the fish out faster. If he's throwing one thing and he's not getting bit, if you're throwing the exact same thing, you're not really learning anything. All you're figuring out is that they don't want what he's throwing, and that you're both throwing the same thing. So throw something different. If he's throwing something fast moving, like a chatterbait or a spinnerbait or something like that, maybe go behind with something finessey. Maybe drag a worm, or throw maybe a speed worm or something. Flip some grass that's in front of you. So don't just throw the exact same thing. Now, the caveat to that is that if your boater is in the front of the boat just absolutely smashing them on a specific bait, that's okay. You can now throw the same thing that he's throwing, and maybe you can catch a few as well. But until you figure out the fish, try to throw something a little bit different than that boater's throwing in the front. You'd be surprised that your boater might start copying you once you start catching fish and he's not catching anything on the front. So try to throw something different to help speed up the learning process of figuring the fish out. Okay, tip number 9, do not, and this is a rule in the MLF, and it used to be in BASS when they had boaters and co-anglers, do not throw over top of their line. So keep that Keep that line out to the side or towards the back. Do not throw over top of their line. Try not to get your line crossed with theirs. It's just a nightmare. It makes you look bush league, and it's a pain in the butt. Now, obviously, sometimes accidents happen where your lines get crossed, or you know, you end up hitting their line or something like that, or hitting their rod. And it happens from time to time, but you know, don't throw out in front of the boat unless you're on one side and he's on the other, and you're still fishing that way, but you don't want to cross lines. So definitely don't do that. That's definitely a big no-no. Don't do that. So just fish what's in front of you, and don't cross your boater's line. Okay, tip number 10. This kind of goes and plays into the technical aspects of things, and it's going to kind of double up on a couple of the other tips where it's don't bring so much stuff and throw something different than your boater. But tip number 10 is to be versatile. You know, you don't have to bring everything, but you want to bring a little bit of everything, right? If you can fit stuff in your box, you want to be versatile. If your boater's throwing something power baits, maybe you should throw finesse. If your boater's throwing finesse, maybe you can throw some power baits. Maybe have, you know, a little bit of everything in your box. You want to have your top waters, your moving baits, your finesse baits. You want to have a little bit of everything, you know, in the boat with you if you can, and try to be versatile. Throw something different. You want to be prepared, right? So say, for example, that your boater says, hey, we're going to go fish docks. Well, you want to make sure that you have a spinning reel with you, so you can skip Senkos under docks. If that's what you're going to do all day. If he says, hey, we're going to be out and we're going to go cranking, you want to make sure that you have your crankbait rod and reel set up, okay? If you don't have crankbait, maybe you can throw a Carolina rig out there if you don't have a crankbait rod and reel set up. Something, you got to be versatile. You got to be able to be versatile and be on your feet, because you never know what you're going to be fishing when you're in the back of the boat. Remember, you're not in control of where you're going to fish and how deep you're going to fish and what type of cover that you're going to fish. You're going to have to figure things out on a split second. Now, that boater knows what he wants to do, and he should tell you, but if he doesn't, or maybe something just happens and you just stumble across something, you want to be versatile enough to say, hey, this would be good in this situation, so I'm going to pick up that rod, get rigged up. Hopefully you're already rigged up. If you're not, you can rig up something really quick and be versatile with it. That's tip number 10, is to be versatile. All right, guys, well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. If you like that video, hit that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.